G'day viewers, my name's Graham Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world, and lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists in Australia do what they do.
G'day viewers, we're off to see a lady today called Leisa O'Brien. She's a sensational artist that does a lot of seascapes, and as you can see she lives near the beach. In fact, she's right on the beach. It's quite a spectacular place, I can assure you. But let's go down the road and have a look at what Leisa's up to. I think you're going to really enjoy today. Hello, Lise, how are you? Good to see you.
Good.
What a studio.
I know.
My God, it's unreal, isn't it?
This is it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Leisa O'Brien. We're going to be spending the day with Leisa today, and she is quite an amazing artist and with the most amazing studio I've ever seen. It's just sensational. We're going to go and you're painting away for us today.
I am.
And she's so good at it too. Really good. So, yes, she is. She's a classic. Let's go on and see what you're up to.
Okay.
Right, Lise, sensational studio.
Thank you.
It's probably without a doubt one of the best that I've ever walked into, and you parked, in fact, you're 100 yards from the beach.
I know, it's terrible. It's so hard to drag myself here every day.
Incredible. So your life history really is, you knew that you wanted to be an artist when you were a little girl.
I did. I did. My earliest memories are just running around telling everyone I was going to be an artist. It was absolute passion.
Yeah.
It's never gone away.
Obviously at school we both suffered the same situation where they said, 7 years of age, put your crayons down and walk into the left brain world.
Yeah, art was something we did on rainy days when we couldn't do sport. When I was in year 1, Mr. McLaughlin, the school principal, would come in and he would literally pull the pencils out of anyone who was holding them in the left hand and put them in, but it never stuck.
Yeah, but it's part of you, isn't it? It's been part of your whole life and your psychology. And then you went through and you're working with architects for a number of years?
Yes, I was at Teachers College and I wasn't happy, and I deferred for a year and ended up working for an architect doing architectural illustration.
Yeah.
And even though it was incredibly structured, I was just so passionate. I was mixing colours every day and painting every day, and that was enough for me. And then that was sort of 12 years, and during that time I painted on my own. I set up my own little business doing pet portraits and doing my own painting.
Yeah.
So I started my own illustration business down here on the coast, and that's when I sort of started doing other paintings, racing cars, people, and really just my passion for it just grew from there.
Yeah, and I know that you teach as well.
Yep.
You're a qualified teacher. I mean, she's got a whole bunch of qualifications as well. But I think that your main passion, obviously, with your beautiful family, Josh and Matt, your husband Matt, sensational team of people, by the way, they really are. The beach is very much a part of your life as well.
It is. We both have this love for the ocean, and it's not just the ocean, it's that beach lifestyle, it's the culture that we have here in Australia. So the light, I'm forever just amazed by the beautiful light and contrast that we have in our sunlight. So. And Matt does photography, surf photography. He's very passionate about that. So one thing feeds off another.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, and today you've actually started.
I have.
Which is good. It helps us along the way as well. But this is it's a shot that I actually saw you do a while back, and I just said, could you paint that for us again? but it's just such a magnificent scene. But we're going to be doing that today. You work in acrylics, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, because
I don't have the patience for oils.
For oils, yeah. But the way that you actually use them, you would think that this was an oil painting, the way that Leisa actually approaches this. But let's sit down. Let me take this jacket off.
Yes.
And let's get into the process of creating this wonderful picture.
Okay.
Excellent. Now, brushes. What sort of brushes do you use? And also, what type of paints are you going to be using today as well?
I love acrylics, and I've always used Atelier acrylics. I love the texture of them, and I've evolved from the old ones through to the new interactive.
Oh, okay.
They've got a longer drying time, so you have that little bit more time for blending. And with the mediums, like I just use a slow medium, which is like a retarder of that drying time, you have that control. I think it's a good thing to have a lot of different brushes, like a quiver of brushes, for what is needed for the particular brush stroke. So when I'm painting, when I'm covering the canvas first, I'll actually use a really nice filbert brush, which is like a soft edge chisel. And I like the chisel because it's precise, it covers a lot, doesn't leave those lines that the square edge chisel does, and it just allows for beautiful blending as well. As you can see, I'm not too concerned about straight horizons or this shape, as long as everything's positioned. So I've actually sketched this up in proportion to where I want, always want that nice composition. And I've just given myself a bit of a guideline in here to where the thickness of the lips, or the white water, the spray, and this element here is really important to me, so I needed to sort of get that depth in there and just to have that blocked in, ready to work up.
Excellent. Now, I've noticed a lot of acrylic artists that we've been filming use other means apart from palettes, and I can see that you're actually using little yogurt cups.
I am. I do use palettes, but I've just found that these little yogurt containers, and they come with their own little lids these days, but it's just a sensational
Stops
container.
it from drying out.
And I buy these little decor containers with the little lids as well, and I've found they're really helpful as well. So I do a lot of my mixing though on the canvas. So with this, I like to stand, so I set up and I'll mix up my colour and I'll put it down here. So I think, that will come in handy, for here. And I like to actually have this as a working palette as well.
Oh, that's a great idea, isn't it? You just test your colours.
And sometimes, really bad, but I get my beautiful jar and just dip straight in.
There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, in the end, it's what works for you.
It is.
Light to dark, dark to light, what suits you best?
Usually dark to light, but I just think it comes to me. I don't like to pre-think things. It all happens when I'm in the moment with my brush. So sometimes the intermediate tones will be the best way for me to start. So with this painting in particular, it's quite almost monochromatic, and the tones are very similar, but there's areas that I need to punch out. Prussian blue hue has got a beautiful colour to it, and it's a very greeny blue, but it's dark, and that's what I like about it. So you're getting that depth in the colour without greying it down. I'm a big fan of the finger blending. To me, it's almost like instant airbrushing, especially if you've got some of the Atelier slow medium in the mix and you're rubbing your finger out, you just get this absolutely beautiful, and you've got all the control.
So you actually just put a little bit of the slow medium on your finger then, do you? And then just run that across? I
can do it that way, or I put it
brush.
Into the mix. And then when I put the paint down with the brush, and then I just smooth it with my finger.
Okay.
I just find it so frustrating that so many people in such busy times now, they're rushing, they're walking around stressed most of the time, which means that, the brain, the amygdala, which is in the part of the midbrain, it actually gets us in a state of fight or flight, and it's quite a primitive part of the brain. And we are walking around in stressful times, and you're literally walking around with your brain activating your body for, a sense of danger. which means a huge amount of the stress hormone cortisol is released. And when your brain is in that state, it actually shuts down the creative side because it's seen as a non-essential part of the brain. So there goes your intuition, there goes a lot of your problem solving. People get tired, they get run down, they're really, the immune system goes down when cortisol is released. And the one that I don't think many people realise is that it takes blood away from your digestive tract, and you know, that leads to weight gain.
You often dip into your slow medium. Is that what you're doing actually when you go into it?
That's the slow medium
That's
here, the magic liquid.
The magic liquid.
The one thing I've noticed that Atelier has improved over the years is the drying colour as opposed to the wet colour, and it's much, much better now. When I first started using Atelier, and all acrylics, I think, they had that difficulty in the drying, you know, slightly darker.
Yeah.
But
and it sort of
it's
tends,
really
it really does, doesn't it? But that's actually dries pretty true, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing now. So it helps with your colour mixing, you know, tremendously.
Well, you're at that stage of the painting right now where you're really starting to put in a lot of those reflections as well. I can see you've got a tiny little brush there. What type of brush are you using there?
It's just a little round brush. I think it's a Taklon. Just because I like the control that I get, and I actually rotate my fingers to get that randomness in the white dots. Otherwise, the left brain just jumps in automatically and gets that repeated action happening. So
it's a pattern-seeking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I'll even paint with my right hand, which is virtually useless because it gives a randomness to the white dots. Have no control. I tell my students, because you can get caught up in this space, and this is the detail. The left brain controls the detail. So if you're captured, you're stuck in looking at detail, you're in that left brain. So I'll always say to them, stop, you know, intermittently step back at least 2 metres away, because then you're seeing it as a whole, and that actually is that creative side.
Okay, from there we go to, so, dry brush technique.
Dry brush technique. So what I like to do is, the reason why I have a short bristle is because you've got more control. You haven't got bristles splaying out everywhere, because I really attack the canvas. And dry brush is one of the things that I've been doing for a long, long time. So I'm adding a little bit of the darker colour now just to temper that so it's not bright white. You want to spread out the colour.
Yeah.
And if you're too timid, you know, you'll get lumps of paint that won't be blending. So again, I work from the brightest area, and then I can just shoot that up and rub it quickly with my finger.
So it really looks like spray, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But it's a great blending effect as well. With all of the finety that you have in there, there's still a lot of elbow work that you do as well.
Yeah, and I think with dry brush, people sometimes can think it's got to be a really delicate process. You know, it might be, you know, with pet portraits, it's the whiskers or it's the hair, it's that effect, but it's a great technique to use for this soft effect, especially with acrylics, because they dry so quickly. You actually get the blending then and there. You're not walking in the next day or 2 days later going, oh, and you know, so I love that about acrylics. It's really, that's I guess where the ability that I have comes in. I've just got that knowledge that I know if the paint is just too dry and it's not spreading well enough, and I know if it's too wet and it's not going to work well enough for me. So, and that just comes from practice.
So you're actually starting to mix some darker colours there?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of intensity along here. And again, that Prussian blue is a really, really good colour for the dark water. And I really want to build the depth up in here for that huge amount of contrast.
Sure.
So I'm just layering a little bit more darkness in.
Yeah, so you're not holding it like a pencil anymore, are you? You're actually holding it as though it's a stick.
It's like a sword.
Yeah, but that's part of the left brain, right brain coaching that you have done as well, isn't it?
It is. I find that singing when I'm painting, singing is actually one of those creative things that actually pulls you away from that left hemisphere of your brain, that analytical, critical side that is constantly looking at what you're doing and going, oh, that's not the right colour, that's too dark, oh, that's in the wrong position. You know, we're taught in probably year 1 or 2 to just start thinking that way. And when you're painting, that's the thing that comes in and can frustrate the hell out of people, because they start over-criticising themselves and their enjoyment just goes out the window. It's the relaxation time when I'm singing my head off. I have to sing someday when I'm awfully low and the world is cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight.
Beautiful. Nice, lovely voice.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, Lise, well, you've been working on this for a little while now, and it's amazing. I mean, you've got this wave, it's just coming out of the surf. It's extraordinary, it really is.
Thank you.
At this stage now, and obviously you've been, as I said, you've been plodding along on your own for a little while, where are you going to take the picture from here? Where do we go to really get it to a stage where you feel that it's getting close to what you want?
It's got the contrast, that strength element is there. I'm happy with the strength of this. I've blended this in, it's nice and soft. So all of this, I can see the impact is there. Now it's time for the subtlety, because what I've put in here is actually the colour of the sky. Now I'm coming in with some highlight, and again, it does not have to be neat. To get an overall smooth view, sometimes you can use quite a rough line. But the reason I'm coming in with the light now is that subtlety, that balance. You've got dark and light. You've got areas where the sun's hitting the water and glinting off it. And the light comes in more towards the bottom, because that's where the sun's more directly beating down with colour.
And I noticed even on the picture there, if you squint your eyes, which we always say a great deal, you notice a lot of artists do it. When you squint your eyes, you can actually see that lighter area right in the middle of the picture, can't you?
Yeah.
It actually just sort of bounces out at you.
It's a reflection of the white water as well. Most of us are taught to become fully left brain by the time we're teenagers. And I think that I just see from teaching that if you can get people to sort of stop criticising themselves and just enjoy the act of actually doodling or painting or doing a sketch and feeling what it's like to let go of that analysis and the critiquing of your left brain and just be in the right brain, be creative and enjoy it, the stress levels for people in general, I'm sure, would be reduced. It kills me when I see people who are stressed and just so busy, and we're living in an age of technical revolution, pretty much. And my background has been in that corporate field, and I thought, oh, thank God for computers, I'm going to have more spare time. And I think a lot of people thought that when technology became more, in part of our lives. But I don't think it has. I think it's just sped everything up. And we're a society now of everything has to be instant. And this is not instant. It breaks it down. It makes you calmer, because it's just a joy to be plodding along and to see something slowly build. And I think that people are they're so busy, they're a little bit lost. And I don't think a lot of people even miss the me time anymore, because they're going. And I see it when people come to class, and that's such a special time for them. It's so precious to them. It's like, this is my time out of my chaotic week, and it's quite therapeutic. And that's the part of art I wish I could instill in everyone. I feel for all artists, because it's not as if we have a choice. We're like You wake up, and I don't know how many accountants go, oh, I can't wait to get to work today. If I can't do accounting for 2 weeks, I'm just going to die. You know, and people choose their careers and things, and I know there's lots of decisions that influence that. But if you're an artist, you have to be your own marketing person, you have to be your own agent, you have to be your own accountant, you have to be your own, you know, stock person. And that's the thing. I love to paint, but I know from 20 years of running my own illustration business, I'm not a great marketer of my own.
Well, that's what this is going and is designed to do. Instead of wandering out there in the dark on your own and somebody going, well, we need to track down somebody called Leisa O'Brien, they'll go, we need to go to Colour in Your Life because that's where all the artists are. So we've just built a central portal. It's just enabling everybody to have a bit of a platform and a format that they can tell basically the whole country what they're doing.
But it's fantastic what you're doing. My husband, he was the one who saw the show. I was out getting groceries or something, and I came back in and Matt was buzzing, and he'd written down colourinyourlife.com.au. He goes, oh, he goes, I've just seen the most amazing TV show, Leisa. He goes, you are going to love it. I just went straight on and got on it, and I just, I've got to get my art on here, and I uploaded it straight away. I figured out from watching the episodes on the website, I figured out it was Peter Mortimer.
Oh, it was Pete, was it? Okay.
And it was the shadows and that guy on the horse.
It's really what Colour in Your Life in the series is about, and the website. It's about people like yourself that are really demonstrating to the world that there is a different way to look at the world, and there's an awakening in a sense. If you learn how to paint and draw and create, you awaken a side of you that you're really not aware of.
That's
and it's just so important. Well, viewers, as you can see, Leisa has just about finished this piece. We're going to leave her to finish this off. And you'll obviously see it screened in as we go along. And it's one of the great scenes that many Australians see along our coastlines. There's actually a place called Kira, which Leisa lives very, very close to. But we'd really like to thank you for having us in your studio
welcome. Today.
It's been just wonderful. And as you can see, you can see this piece of Leisa's on the Colour in Your Life website, www.colourinyourlife.com.au. We've got some great things going on the website these days. I mean, membership is just skyrocketing. And we're also giving away some great original pieces every month through some competitions that we've got. So you can come in, sign up, whether you be an artist or not. Some just fabulous paintings that you can win. And once again, Leisa, it's been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we will be in touch.
Lovely.
Lisa's going to actually be with us for a little while, I think. She's a great girl. So, but until we meet again, remember, make sure you put some colour in your life. See you next time. Well, viewers, we've got some really exciting things coming up in the next couple of months in the art world. We've got Art Expo on in Brisbane, Sydney and Canberra, July, September and October. Now, the Brisbane one is on at the Convention Centre from the 13th to the 15th. Now, come along, there's workshops, there's seminars, you can meet the Colour in Your Life team, buy some art, learn some things, you'll have a great time. We'll see you there in Brisbane.